The thing about jazz is it can really make boring things sound a lot more interesting. Take this C major scale lick, for example. So how am I supposed to make that sound interesting? I know, I'll use jazz voicings. Step in the right direction, wouldn't you say? So now that we have some jazz voicings, how about some jazz stylings? Now that's what I'm talking about. So as you can see, just tinkering a little bit with an even very basic, probably the most boring basic chord progression lick thing ever, can still sound interesting if you have the right voicings and application of those voicings, i.e. stylings. So essentially a jazz styling is you want to embody the cool cat. Jazz is all about the coolest dudes ever creating a genre of music as far as I'm concerned. So I think that you need to have that spirit when you are playing jazz music, at least in this specific kind of traditional jazz style. But I want to impart to you that it doesn't have a one-size-fits-all solution for jazz stylings, but in this lesson I'm going to show you a little breakdown of what I was doing there to achieve that jazzy sound. So as far as the voicings are concerned, I'm just playing root position chords that are diatonic to the C major scale. So if you're unfamiliar with that type of thing, then you should check out my course called Guitar Super System, link down in the description. So we're going to start with the C major 7 chord. Now, I am going to understand that these stylings are going to be predicated on me making sure that all the notes that I tend to do these little hammers and plucks on are within that key of C major. So I'm not going to do a hammer on here. This note is a flat 7. That is not in the key of C major, so I'm going to avoid notes like that. But a note like this, you can hear the difference. So bad and good. So that D note is where I am drawing from. The real magic is happening here in the picking hand. This is a very foundational part of playing jazz, is to be able to play proficiently finger style to get that warm, organic sound. So like if I had a pick, it's still nice, but it's just not the same as your fingers. So definitely recommend getting this down. It also allows you to be a lot more acrobatic on the strings to do these jazz stylings. So I would recommend this exercise. Thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, back down. So just getting used to that. Will help you insert things like that. That's a pretty complicated move, but it'll feel more natural as your fingers become acquainted with this style of movement. So as I move it through this chord progression, you can see, same approach here. That note is in the C major scale, and I'm hammering on to form this D minor 7 chord root position. So before, and after. Very jazzy, very nice and cool. When you start to actually play interesting chord progressions, I'll just actually take these 3 chords but mix them up, so something like this. It can be very, open a lot of doors for you. And really, we're sticking to this very simple root position chords. But you can see the runway becomes extended when you apply the jazz stylings from the right hand and left hand working in unison. So if we were to branch out into a more unique chord progression, you can understand how these stylings will apply to many different situations. Any chord progression you see, you can jazzify it by applying some of these tactics. So I want you to practice not only just learning your root position, major 7, minor 7, and minor 7 flat 5 chords of the major scale, those diatonic chords. Don't just work on those, work on the stylings and the emotional qualities of playing jazz music, which is just being very smooth and delicate with a lot of attention to detail, making sure that the notes that you do play are on purpose and intentional. And that will be a very convincing way, if you've never tried jazz, to kind of jumpstart your way into the genre. So I'll see you guys in the next lesson, but until then, keep shredding.